Hello friends, this is an emergency Christmas report on how things have suddenly gone wrong, to the point where I can't sleep without streaming this article. Opinion article. In the Valley of Shadows, things get complicated. Empty Christmas presents. Here, even the cat is sold. Trump didn't announce the gold standard. Pence crashes and options crash. Mike Pence did not send the letters to the states. Trump publicly rebukes Mike Pence. The most viable option would be declassification. The only bonds that are paid are those of the Treasury. And there is speculation of a patriot uprising on January 9th. The Supreme Court will respond to Trump on January 22nd. This seems a joke. They will try to physically remove Trump from the White House. The new Attorney General refuses to appoint a Special Prosecutor. Order White House staff to stop packing their bags. Congresswoman Maxine Waters asks the military to remove the president. Let's start. President Trump did not announce the dollar backed by assets and precious metals in his Christmas speech, just as Don Carlos de Marbella had predicted, although the gold continues to rise. Vice President Mike Pence seems to have betrayed his president by not sending the letters to the states to obtain their vote, which he should have sent last Wednesday the 15th, as the last legal day, and the only bonds that are being paid are those of the Treasury Department, but not the Chinese or the Zimbabwean. In addition, the King of Spain expressed in his Christmas speech his enthusiasm for the European Union, of which I am skeptical, spoke of his hope in inoculations, and came to say that we all come out of it together and inoculated. Yes, Your Majesty, tomorrow. My answer is together but not mixed up. And that is why I am going to live in the hermit camp as if I were the magician Merlin. To make matters worse, Acting Attorney General Jeff Rosen doesn't appear to be willing to appoint a special prosecutor to investigate these corruption cases. That is to say, he doesn't want to stir up the rotten waters of the swamp, lest it be splashed on him or his family. He doesn't want problems, in a word. As if this were not enough, the Supreme Court has established a deadline to respond to Trump's campaign demand, which is precisely January 22nd. That is 2 days after the oath of the new fourth-year term. At that point, the court could simply refuse to hear the case, saying that it is moot or impossible for them to resolve it at that time. Saoirse Fall has caught up with this pessimism when she titled her report, "Communist Christmas Descends on America After the Swamp Crucifies Trump." Treason of Pence. The Vice President did not surprise anyone yesterday by refusing to send a letter to states in which anomalies have occurred, in which Pence could have directed them to present legitimate electoral vote to Congress. Instead, he remained silent, stabbing his president in the back. What will happen if Pence has not played the cat on 23rd December is that we have a final term on 6th January, where the Vice President can do the same, but with a fundamental difference, which is the fact that he will do it day of the official vote count. Voter certification submitted by various disputed states are illegal for a number of reasons, chief among them being the fact that they have been made in violation of the laws of the states themselves. Precisely because such certifications are illegal, Vice President Pence should have written an official letter to the disputed states asking them to send their list of legal voters, since he could not consider those voters as valid. To solve this issue, the states would have to hold new elections, there is no time for it, or appoint new voters through legislators. But they wouldn't do it either, since they are anti-Trump and would try to maintain their current list by going to the courts. The courts would pass the buck until they reached the Supreme Court, which would not take the case. Christmas presents, all of them are, in my opinion, Christmas gifts beautifully adorned with Christmas decorations, but empty of content because they take us for fools. If I lacked knowledge, I would say that evil has won. But it is not like that, because we know that this chess game has many moves, even though we have eaten many chips. They are closing all the legal doors so that in the end only remains open the military option, and on top of that they would accuse a coup plotters and dictators, even if they do so with the law in hand. Here even the cat is old. Than the law, than the snare. As St. Paul said, we know that we originated from God, but the whole world is in power of the wicked one. A man who lived 100 years confessed me in a single sentence what he had learned from his life. Everything is a lie, he said. It is true that there are bits of truth scattered everywhere, but you have to look for them with a magnifying glass, because they are usually well hidden, and hidden from public view. The most pessimistic will tell me that they were right, but I refuse to throw in the towel. Options. The first option would be declassification, and it still appears to be the most viable option, unless the president invokes the insurrection law or declares martial law, which could take place after January 6, unless things go to a contingent election. Initially, you can choose the first, more diplomatic path, but depending on the level of opposition, you could cross over to the second, where at that point there would be no going back, no way of returning. Staying within the reach of the most diplomatic channel, the president could activate the National Emergency Transmission System, where he would take presidential control over all media stations. On the second, a more dangerous path, the president can invoke the 2018 Executive Order, the Insurrection Act, and the 14th Amendment using swift special operation forces and military courts. The President could also invoke certain provisions of the 2018 Executive Order on foreign interference in elections and begin seizing media assets inherited from large internet-based tech companies. It is more than likely that the President will choose the diplomatic path that could have started yesterday, Thursday, December 24th. Within minutes after Jeff Rosen was sworn in as Attorney General, there are rumors that Rosen may recuse himself, but minutes later Richard Donoghue will be sworn in as Deputy Prosecutor, where he could turn around and appoint Sidney Powell as a Special Prosecutor. If Sidney Powell receives any opposition, the President could in turn invoke the 14th Amendment to suspend the January 6th ballot with Congress, and even the January 20th inauguration until all issues are legally resolved. Update. Mike Adams' situation update, Thursday, December 24th. First, William Barr leaves the Department of Justice, one less swamp creature at the helm. Second, Pence does not act, which shows that he can betray the nation. Nobody is surprised. Third, Pence publicly states, "We are going to keep fighting until all the illegal votes are removed, but then stop fighting and allow the illegal votes to be counted." Trump publicly rebukes Pence for not fighting enough for America. Fifth, the Republican Party is emerging as a party of disloyalists. A powerful anti-Republican movement is forming among Trump supporters. Sixth, the President vetoes the defense bill, which also contained a hidden provision to annul the insurrection law. Congress will meet again to try to override the veto. Seventh, Karl Rove called Sidney Powell a conspiracy theorist for his statements. Eighth, Trump publicly asked the Department of Justice to appoint a special prosecutor to investigate the anomalies. Ninth, Jeffrey Prather hints that Chris Miller's Defense Department team may have deliberately leaked bad information to Biden's transition team to see if they would pass it on the CCP. They may have been caught in acts of treason. 10th, Michigan Republican Senate later exonerates Dominion if any wrongdoing despite all the overwhelming evidence. 11th, White House employees have been ordered to stop packing. The order includes the following statement: updated information will be shared in the next few days. 12th, it's speculated that the patriots may begin mounting an uprising against tyranny around January 9th. 13. Arizona can invoke the sergeant at arms to take over the dominant voting machines in Maricopa County. 14th, the hydroxychloroquine factory in Taiwan explodes in a mysterious event. 15th, the swamp is rumored to be threatening to detonate weapons if Trump refuses to budge. 16th, it is rumored that they will try to physically remove Trump from the White House next week. I don't think he will get it. And 17th, Congresswoman Maxine Waters has asked the military to force the president out of the White House. And that's all for today. Very important news. Thank you for listening.